Hey, what's up, good people? David Taub here from nextlevelguitar.com. How you doing? Hope your guitar journeys are going well. And we've been receiving a lot of emails here regarding strum patterns and students having the problems with the ups and the downs and the complexities of the rhythms and whatnot. And I'll tell you, man, what you're up against is what every guitar player who has ever picked up a guitar and first learning how to strum and play rhythmically and play in time and strum patterns, and it's a little challenging at first, but you can do it if you keep tuning into our lessons or go to our website at nextlevelguitar.com. You will get it. It just takes practicing the right things and having that structured plan to follow like we give you on our website and on our videos, you know, and just keep putting that guitar in your hands every day, even if it's only 10 or 15 minutes. Makes such a big difference. So, you know, don't beat yourselves up. You know that what you're going through, everyone who's ever picked up the guitar has gone through the same things, and you will get over it, and you will get through it. And so stay positive. You can do it, all right? So I thought today maybe I will show you that you don't necessarily have to have a strum pattern with all ups and downs and complicated kind of patterns in order to have rhythm and maybe something a little funky or bluesy. I'm going to do a strum pattern right now for you using all downstrokes. We're not going to use any upstrokes. And I'm just showing you this to say, hey, you can get creative with these things, and we're going to be doing lots of patterns with ups and downs, and eventually, you know, you're going to be developing your ear, and we help you with that at Next Level Guitar. It's such an important thing to do, man, for any musician, is to really develop your ear so you can hear rhythms and hear notes and chords that go together and the color of the chords, and will really help in your musical journey developing that ear. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. We're just going to play a little downstroke pattern, and remember that, you know, what gives music its rhythm is the rests, those repeated series of rests. You know, like if I'm strumming in straight eighth notes, an eighth note is 2 notes per beat, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2. This does not sound musical. Straight eighth notes. Or if I was strumming straight 16ths, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, you know, 16th notes are 4 notes per beat, 1E and a. That's how you can count them, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. Playing those straight do not give you any rhythm. It's not really musical because there's no rests. It's those repeated series of rests, or when you leave a stroke out, right? Or 2 strokes out. And those repeated rests give you a rhythm. And that's what gives music its life's blood, so to speak. So if I take that eighth note pattern, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and just put in one rest, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. See, just leaving out that one stroke and playing 2 upstrokes consecutively gives us that rest on that down, therefore creating this pattern, a rhythmic pattern, where you have this repeated series of rests. And now it sounds like music. Or it sounds like rhythm, and then you put a chord to it. And you could start playing music and have it start sounding rhythmic. And then your music will start to take on a new rhythmic life, so to speak. Okay, but what I want to show you today really is a pattern just using downstrokes, right? So let's just take like an A minor 7th chord, and I'll flash these chord fret numbers. The frets are what you're going to play right from the low E string, and you'll see these written across, down to the high E string. Play an A minor 7th. We'll play some minor blues, a 1, 4, 5, to a D minor 7th, the 4 chord, and then we'll also play an E minor 7th, the 5 chord. Okay, and then let me play it for you, and maybe we'll do like a 12-bar pattern, something like that. But notice, what I want you to really take from this is notice the rhythm that I'm playing with this. All downstrokes. Maybe I'll throw in a chuck. You know, that rhythmic chucking where you kind of come off pressure. We have lessons on that on YouTube and on our website, and you get that chucking sound. But I'm going to use all downstrokes, but I'm just going to use those 3 chords in a 1-4-5 format. Check it out. This is what it'll sound like. minor 7, back to the 1 chord. Now we're going to go to 5. That time I threw in a different chord. I threw in an E7 sharp 9, which I love using for turnarounds. A turnaround is when the last time we play the progression to turn around back to the 1 chord. The first time I did this, going from the 4 to the flat 5 to the 5, or from that E minor 7, just move up a half step. E minor 7, half step to E flat minor 7, half step to E minor 7. And the second time, I just went to that E7 sharp 9 chord, or you might know that as the Hendrix chord. Love that chord for turnarounds. Okay, so all I'm doing here is just using a downstroke and a chuck. I'm just going, if I stay on that A minor 7 chord, I'll do it slow. Down, chuck, down, chuck, down, chuck, down. I change chords, so it's all downstrokes. So down, chuck, down, 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 chuck, down, down, chuck, down, down, chuck, down, 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 chuck, down, change, down, chuck. Now the 5 chord. What I did there when I went to the 5, I go back a half step to get back to the 4 chord. It just throws in that little variation that's kind of cool. Very common. So now that strum, it'll sound easy, but the first time you might try that, you might not have that rhythm that I have. It's going to take a little bit to find that pocket. Now don't rush it. You want to almost pull it back a little bit and really kind of, if you start to rush it, you're going to start to get that kind of sound. You really want to lay it down, chuck, down, 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 chuck, down. So down, chuck, down, 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 down. Nice and slow, but really feel that. And all I'm doing on that chuck is I'm staying on the chord, I'm fretting it, I'm not moving my fret hand, but all I'm doing is releasing pressure. Chord, release pressure, hit the strings, and you get that chuck sound. And when you do that, get a nice strong one, hit the strings like you mean it, with conviction and passion. And don't like just hit one, come down all six strings, or 5 if you're chucking on the other chords. See if I wham, really accent those. The chuck is such an important rhythmic kind of groove tool. We can really accent certain beats, and you can go heavy or light. In this instance, I'm going heavy, and you know, you really want to have those different dynamics or different volume levels, different levels of volume on those accents. It really adds so much to your playing, you know? You can play it light, throw in a heavy one, or build it. So there you have a nice pattern, and just practice that even if you just hold the strings. Really get in that rhythmic groove. By the way, those little reverberations or repeats you hear, I have a little reverb on the amp. Playing through a tube amp, a Fender 212 DeVille. A little bit of reverb, just a splash, just to wetten it up a little bit. And that's what you hear. You're probably going, what the hell is that? Well, that's just a little reverb on there. Let the amp, I don't like it too dry as toast. I like wetting it, but not too much, because then it'll get too saturated. And if you want, you could try that in any key, play the exact same patterns or shapes, and just move them to other parts of the neck. For instance, instead of doing it in the key of A, if you want to do it, we were playing A minor 7th to the 4th chord in the key of A, the D minor 7, which is right underneath, except on the 5th string root, and then up a whole step from that to the E minor 7. Let's do it in the key of C. So now I'm on the 8th fret, same exact chords, C minor 7th, and then right below that's the 4 chord, which is the F. We'll play the F minor 7, and then go up a whole step from the F minor 7th, or 2 frets, to the G minor 7, and then back to the C. Same exact thing, it'll sound like this. Maybe I'll change the strum up a little bit. Maybe I'll start at the same, but as we go through it the first or second time, I'll add a few things. Check it out. Key is C minor now. So there I just added some upstrokes and whatnot just to show you how you can use this all downstroke strum as like a basis and then build off of it. So point being that you can create these rhythmic kind of feels with any strum pattern as long as you have those repeated series of rests. And I urge you to make up your own, to get creative with them, to mix quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, upstrokes, downstrokes, all downs, all ups, you know, the whole gamut into your music and into your playing, because that's what's going to create interest. You just don't want to be using, a lot of students, they always default to the same strum pattern all the time, no matter what progression, no matter what song, they have one pattern or two patterns in their arsenal. And you really have to break out of that, because it's going to get really boring and really sterile sounding quickly, because everything will sound similar rhythmically. You really want to have a huge arsenal of rhythmic licks, rhythmic strum patterns, rhythmic rhythms to your arsenal. It's so important, rhythm playing, because when you're a guitarist, you're playing rhythm 80–90% of the time. You're only soloing for very small sections of a song or parts at a time, unless you're in like a jam band or something, but you're mainly soloing very little compared to the whole song, which you're mainly going to be playing rhythm. So your rhythm chops have got to be top shelf. Got to be. You got to have good timing and good rhythm, and working with a metronome will really help your timing. You know, I always say that your soloing skills or your lead playing is only ever going to be as good as your rhythm playing, because that, you know, if you play this ripping lead and then you go back to the rhythm and you're out of time, or you're playing sloppy, or you don't have the groove, people will remember that you screwed that up over to your great solo. You know, you could play this great solo and then you mess up getting back in to the song, so you just blew it. You just blew all that great work that you did playing the lead, because you screwed up getting back in because your timing is not down, or you don't have the rhythmic flow or the groove or the patterns, or you don't have that ear developed so you can be on autopilot, not even think about it, right? So it just blows all that great lead work that you just did. So you're, in my opinion anyway, your lead playing is really only ever going to be as good as your rhythm playing. So I hope you like this lesson. Keep putting that guitar in your hands every day. You can do it. I'm David Taub, and I will see you in the next lesson. Rock on and rip it up!